Well, my boss invited me, so I'll be going on another resort trip this weekend. It's just for business, but still, spending my days off with my boss. Seriously, it's such a drag.
What? Again? Isn't that a bit too much? You've been going away all the time these last few months, haven't you? Don't you think it's about time you took a break? I mean, even if it's a resort trip.
I guess so, but it's not like I dislike going to a resort. I don't mind it, and since it's for work, there's no point in complaining about it, right?
True, but still, it feels like we hardly have any time together as a couple. And remember, we had plans to visit my parents this weekend. You said you'd come with me.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's not like I'm choosing this over you. I have work commitments too, you know? You can go to your parents' house by yourself. Even if I go, it would just be for show. The kids will be happy just to see my face for a bit.
I get that it might seem trivial to you, but don't you think the kids would want to spend some time with their dad? And honestly, going back home with the kids alone is no walk in the park for me. You've never had to take care of them on your own, so you wouldn't understand.
Come on, saying you have a hard time with the kids when you can have such adorable children all to yourself is really a spoiled complaint, don't you think?
If you think it's just about how cute the kids are, then that proves you're not really involved in raising them. It's not just about them being cute. There are plenty of challenges that come with it, too.
If the kids heard you say that, they'd be so upset. Seriously, you sound like a pretty terrible mother.
If you think you can handle it better, then why don't you try doing it yourself? Stop enjoying your trips with your boss and take the kids on a trip by yourself at least once. Or even just stay home and take care of them alone for a bit. Trust me, you'll regret saying that.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? You have no idea how difficult it is to travel with my boss. That's why you can say such things. I'm not going on trips with my friends. It's all really stressful.
I used to go on those kinds of trips before we had kids too, you know. But ever since the kids were born, it's always been me taking care of them because you can't handle it alone, right? Realistically speaking, traveling with my boss just isn't something I can do without your support. So tell me, if I said, hey, I'm going on another 2-night resort trip with my boss, so can you take care of the kids? Would you really do that? Because I'm juggling work, house chores, and parenting over here. It's not easy for me.
You're so annoying. It's because you always act like you're so put upon that I don't want to help. If you'd just keep your mouth shut, I might actually want to help out. It's the way you say things that makes me want to back off.
First of all, what do you mean by helping? Parenting is something we should do together, especially since both of us work. Do you think it's normal for me to be the one solely responsible for the kids just because I'm a woman? You're not just here to help. You should be taking an active role. The very idea that I have to ask for help is what's wrong here.
Oh, you're so damn annoying. If you have complaints, go home to your parents and tell them. Anyways, I have to work with my boss this weekend. I'm not coming home, so don't bother contacting me.
This conversation is going nowhere. Hey, answer your phone. This is an emergency. I just rushed to leave you a voicemail. Why haven't you responded at all? Right now, all of our family members are rushing to the hospital and we need you here too. You have to come as soon as you see this message. It's really serious. We're all very worried and it's important that you get here as quickly as possible. The situation is critical and we don't know what's going to happen. It's really dangerous and the last thing we need is for anyone to delay in getting here. The kids are with me, so just come straight to the hospital without stopping at home. We'll be waiting for you here, and I know it's a lot to ask, but it's important that we're all together right now. Please understand how urgent this is. I wouldn't be calling you like this if it weren't a serious situation. I really need your support right now, and the kids need their dad too. They're scared, and we all want to be there for each other during this tough time. It's moments like this that remind us of how important family is, and we can't do this without you. So please, as soon as you get this message, drop everything and head over to the hospital. We're all really counting on you to be here with us. I can't stress enough how crucial it is that you come. I'll keep you updated on what's happening as soon as I can, but right now just focus on getting here. We need to stick together as a family in times like this. Please hurry.
I'm so tired. Traveling with my boss is exhausting. And what's with this mountain of messages? I got your voicemail and it sounded so dramatic. You were like, "Your mother is in critical condition. Come to the hospital immediately." It felt like something straight out of a drama series. By the way, where have you been? Today was supposed to be the day you were coming home, and yet there's no food prepared at home?
Oh, you finally returned. Well, I'm at my parents' place letting the kids rest. Honestly, I'm surprised you managed to come back from your trip considering the situation.
And about your mom being in critical condition? I really don't care. You were just on vacation, weren't you? Are you still lounging around at your parents' house? Lucky you. So what's going on with the old lady? Not that it has anything to do with me.
We just finished my mother-in-law's funeral. We're currently gathered here to talk things over.
Wait, what? Your mother-in-law? Hold on a second. Are you saying that your mother-in-law is actually my mother?
Yes, that's right. Didn't your dad call you? He mentioned he left you a message, too.
Huh? My dad did send me a message saying to come home right away and go to the hospital, but...
So you were blocking your communications from your relatives? That explains why I hadn't heard anything. I guess you were too busy worrying about how to manage your trip with your boss, huh?
Well, of course. I'd find it annoying if I were getting all these bothersome messages from my family while I'm with my boss. Wait a second, are you seriously telling me that it's my mother?
I've been telling you that. We've been extremely busy with the funeral arrangements. I tried to contact you so you could see her one last time, but instead, you decided to ignore all the messages and just enjoy your vacation, only to come back now. Honestly, even your family is at a loss for words about it.
I know, but I didn't think something like this would happen.
But your mom had been suffering from heart issues for a long time, right? It was bound to get worse. When I got the call saying she had taken a turn for the worse and was in critical condition, you should have come right away. If you had, you could have seen her one last time.
I can't believe this happened! Mom!
I'll be heading back home with the kids once everything settles down here, so you're an adult, just take care of yourself for now. You had no idea how hard it's been trying to juggle everything. While you were off enjoying your trip, I was dealing with the kids and the situation here. I can't believe you didn't think to check your messages and respond sooner.
I didn't think it would turn out like this! I thought we had more time!
You really should have been more aware. It's not just about your vacation. You have responsibilities and family to think about. The least you could do is check in, especially when things are serious. You may be relaxed right now, but the reality is that life doesn't stop for anyone.
I get that, okay? I really do, but sometimes I just need a break from all of this.
I understand needing a break, but there's a time and a place for everything. When family is involved, especially with such grave matters, you can't just ignore it. I wish you'd been here to support me and the kids when it mattered.
You're right. I should have been more considerate. I just didn't think it would escalate this quickly.
Now it's too late. I hope you realize how important family is and how vital it is to be present during tough times. You can't just turn your back on your responsibilities.
I promise I'll do better next time. I just hope it won't be under these circumstances again.
It's not about making promises now. It's about learning from this experience. Family means being there for each other, no matter the situation. So please try to remember that. Thanks for waiting, Mary. I'm all set over here. Kaylin, thank you so much. You got here much faster than I expected. This really helps me out. Right? I mean, this is a big deal for you, so of course I'm going to move quickly to help. But I really can't believe that guy. He's unbelievable. I appreciate it. I truly do. At first I was completely overwhelmed and didn't know what to think. But now everything is starting to connect, you know? It feels like I can finally make sense of it all. Yeah, I get that. I was hesitant about whether or not to tell you at first too, but I really want you to find happiness. You've been doing so much on your own with the kids. It's a relief that it finally turned out this way. Kaylin, I can't thank you enough for everything. Oh, it's nothing, really, but seriously, the world feels small sometimes, doesn't it? So, are you prepared for what's coming next? Are you really going to follow through and put an end to this? Absolutely. I know that this is the best outcome for me. I see. Well, that's great. Then let's stick to the plan and go for it. I'm honestly looking forward to this. I can hardly contain my excitement. It's like all the pieces are finally falling into place and I'm ready to take action. I've been waiting for the right moment to make my move, and now that I have your support, I feel much more confident. Knowing that I have someone like you in my corner makes all the difference. You know how much I've struggled with this situation, and just thinking about finally putting it behind me fills me with hope. I can't wait to reclaim my life and start fresh without all this baggage holding me back. This is going to be a turning point for me, and I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. Let's do this together and make it happen. I've got your back just like you've got mine through this entire process. So let's get everything organized and take the first step. I'm ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead with newfound determination.
By the way, I've got another golf trip with my boss next weekend. I was sleeping when you came back yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you.
Wait, what? Again? How can you even think about going on another trip after everything that's happened? Your mother is in such a serious condition because you were away on vacation. Don't you think it's time to take a break from all this traveling?
I do think about it, but what can I do? It's a work obligation, and I have no choice but to go. Plus, especially in times like this, I want to forget everything for a while and just have some fun. And you shouldn't be complaining about things at a time like this.
You did tell your boss about your mother's situation, right? He's still inviting you despite everything? That says a lot about him, too.
Huh? What do you know about my boss? It's fine if you want to criticize me, but don't speak ill of my boss.
What are you talking about? You've told him you had kids, right? If he knows you have a wife and children, he's still inviting you out. That's just disrespectful.
Shut up! We've got our own circumstances here. I'm in a good position with my boss, so there's nothing I can do about it.
That makes it even worse. Can't you just tell him that your wife is upset? Were you in such a position that you couldn't say that?
Talking to you is pointless. Seriously, you're such a difficult person to deal with. It's like you've completely changed since you got married and had kids.
I think you're the one who changed me. Don't you realize it? You act like nothing has changed in your life despite having kids, living your life like you're still single. How long do you think you can go on like this, expecting to be taken care of like a child? Don't you understand that you're a parent now?
Oh, right. So everything is my fault, huh? Just go ahead and be friendly with the kids. I'll be off having fun with my boss while you're at it.
Fine, I get it.
What are you thinking? Why are you in a place like this?
That's what I was going to ask you. What are you doing sneaking into a married woman's house while her husband is away on a business trip and having a cozy overnight getaway, just the two of you? Looks like you're not even in the same company and you're not going out golfing either. What happened to that supposed golf trip with your boss?
Are you kidding me? You weren't following me, were you?
Well, technically speaking, it wasn't me. I just had a professional investigator check things out for me. And it turns out you were having yet another overnight getaway at your girlfriend's house today. So I thought this is ridiculous and decided to crash the party.
The audacity! You're the one who should be saying that! Your girlfriend must have been so shocked that she started crying, right?
At a time like this, you're still worried about her? Oh, this is hilarious. You came out half naked, for crying out loud. Sure, I had my friend ring the doorbell so you wouldn't know I was here, but still. How could you be so foolish? It's disgusting. There's no way out of this, is there?
By the way, why are my relatives here with you?
I brought them along. Just showing evidence wasn't going to cut it. They said it must have been a misunderstanding. So I asked them to come to the scene with me. That way they could see the undeniable proof with their own eyes, right?
You've got to be kidding me! How did it come to this?
That's what I was about to say. Could you bring your girlfriend out here already? If you don't want to talk outside, then just let us in the house. We can all have a nice chat together, can't we?
Are you insane? There's no way I could accept such a chaotic situation.
But you're the one who created this chaos. You left the kids with me, and here you are cozying up with your girlfriend. As a father, as a man, and as a human being, you're the lowest of the low.
Well, that's because ever since you became a mother, you've been all about the kids. You've lost any charm or femininity you might have had, so it's no wonder.
You think that's a valid excuse for your actions? I have every right to want to protect the child I brought into this world with my life, and I believe that wholeheartedly. If we could have co-parented together, maybe I could have felt like a woman again. But you've done nothing but come home and leave all the cooking, cleaning, and child rearing to me, while you play with the kids only when they're in a good mood. You sit there fiddling with your phone instead of helping with their studies. I simply don't have the time to deal with a pathetic man like you. If you wanted attention, you should have made time for me.
There's no need to pile it on like that. How did you even figure this out?
You underestimate a woman's intuition, don't you? The moment you started going out more, I felt something was off. You stopped wanting to be intimate, and then there were those little moments where you'd compare me to other women. You really had no idea you were doing that, did you?
Huh? Was I doing that?
Yes, you were. And then, just at that time, I started getting tips about you. They said you were at a resort with another woman. You'd go to popular resorts, so of course my friends would see you. This world is much smaller than you think, you know.
Wait, I was being seen like that?
Yep, and that's when I became convinced. But since I thought that alone would not be enough proof, I got my friends and a private investigator involved to prepare for a solid case against you.
A case? What do you mean? We're married, right?
We are married, huh? You're the one who betrayed me, so who are you to talk? I've been putting up with your betrayal all this time. When I told you that it was unreasonable for someone to invite you knowing that you had a wife and kids, I was angry for my beloved girlfriend, wasn't I? Just go ahead and do whatever you want because I am getting a divorce.
What? But the kids are involved too. Don't you think it's cruel for them if we divorce?
It's better for them to grow up in a warm, loving home rather than living with a father who's a traitor and watching his dysfunctional relationship with their mother.
Why would you say something like that?
Because you act so selfishly. I will definitely be filing for alimony, and as soon as the other husband gets back, I'll be talking to him. You're getting divorced from me, and you can deal with your life afterward as you please. I'll be sure to claim a hefty alimony from you, and of course you'll be paying child support too.
Stop it! This is all because you stopped being a woman. You just wanted to spend time with another woman, didn't you? You have some responsibility in this too.
Do you think I'm just going to let that slide? I'm managing everything while also taking care of 2 kids. Why do I have to continue to deal with someone who can't even take care of the children or help with the household chores?
Dealing?
I am working without any time off. If you wanted my attention, you should have saved some energy for it. You come home fiddling with your phone, eat the food I made without a second thought, take long relaxing baths in the bathroom I scrubbed clean, and sit there looking satisfied at the faces of the children I struggled to put to bed, pretending to be a father. You're a worthless man.
You don't need to say it like that.
I'm doing everything. And you expect me to be your night partner too? If you want me to keep looking beautiful by putting on makeup and taking care of my hair and skin, then you better start making time for me to do that. I am barely managing to keep myself alive and care for the children. And you think you can just go off and satisfy your own desires with other women? You don't deserve to call yourself a father.
I'm sorry, I messed up. Just don't make this a bigger deal than it is. Please don't tell her husband. I'll do my best from now on.
I don't have the space in my heart to accept the dirty person you've become. You are a criminal who broke the law, so make sure you pay for your actions. It is pathetic how you keep worrying about yourself. Oh, and just so you know, my punishments won't end here. I'll make sure to report this to your workplace as well. You were supposed to be on a trip with your boss, so we need to confirm that, don't we?
Wait, please stop. Anything but that. I'm working hard for my promotion. If you ruin that for me, my future.
Have you realized the extent of what you've done before you started talking? You have no idea how much you've hurt me. You're sacrificing the children for your own desires. Finally, my husband lowered his head, ready to admit his faults, something that took far too long. Initially, I thought he would allow me and my relatives to enter his home so that we could have a serious discussion about the situation at hand. However, to my shock and a certain degree of satisfaction, he was outright punched by her father as soon as he arrived. Witnessing that confrontation was a bizarre mix of emotions, but I must admit it left me feeling quite satisfied. It was a cathartic moment, especially considering all the pain and betrayal I'd been experiencing. The woman in question came to me and apologized deeply, going so far as to kneel before me in a gesture of contrition. I could see the remorse in her eyes as she bowed her head, trying to express her regret for what had transpired. However, I could not simply accept her apology at face value, for I had a child whose future was now entangled in this mess. My heart ached as I thought about how our lives had been turned upside down due to the actions of these adults, who seemed to act without considering the consequences. Understanding the gravity of our predicament, I made it crystal clear to her husband just how frivolous she had been in her actions with my husband. I felt it was essential for him to know the full extent of what had happened, the betrayals and the disloyalty that had transpired between them. It wasn't merely a matter of emotions, it was a violation of trust that had ramifications affecting not only the adults involved, but also the innocent children caught in the crossfire. As we engaged in this painful discussion, I realized that she seemed to be a full-time housewife, dedicating her life to maintaining her home and caring for her family. However, her world had turned upside down when her husband filed for divorce, a decision that had consequences not only for her, but also for everyone else involved. I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions watching her situation unfold. It was ironic that we both found ourselves in such unfortunate circumstances, albeit in different ways. After her husband left her, my husband faced his own set of consequences. I had reported the affair to my company, which led to my husband being reassigned to a remote location. This drastic change in his work situation felt like a punishment that fit the crime. But it was also a bitter reminder that we were both paying for the choices made in moments of weakness and poor judgment. It was as if fate had dealt us both a harsh hand, forcing us to start down a path of disappointment and regret. In our conversation, I made sure to emphasize that this situation wasn't merely a fleeting moment of weakness. It had lasting repercussions that would follow us for years to come. I needed her to understand that while she sought forgiveness, the consequences of her actions extended far beyond a simple apology. My husband and I were now living in the fallout of their indiscretions, and it was our child who would ultimately bear the brunt of this turmoil. The stakes were high, and I couldn't allow myself to become lost in anger and revenge. As I spoke, I could see the emotions flickering across her face. Guilt, sorrow, and perhaps a hint of realization that her actions had not only harmed me, but had also disrupted her own life and family. The weight of her decisions was heavy, and I sensed that she was beginning to grasp the far-reaching effects of what she had done. It was a complex web of emotions that we were both navigating, filled with resentment and a yearning for understanding. I recounted the moments that had led to this confrontation, recalling how my husband had initially been evasive about his feelings, how he had made excuses, and how I, in turn, had been forced to confront the reality of our fractured relationship. The betrayal stung deeply, but this encounter felt like a necessary step towards resolution, or at least towards closure. We were both feeling the fallout from the choices made by those we trusted, and it was a painful yet pivotal moment. As she listened to my words, I could see her processing the information, reflecting on her own role in this saga. She began to share her perspective, explaining her frustrations and the feelings of neglect within her marriage. I listened patiently, allowing her to express herself, knowing that understanding her viewpoint was crucial in moving forward. While I sympathized with her feelings of loneliness and isolation, I couldn't let that cloud my judgment regarding the choices she had made that had led us to this point. Her story mirrored my own in some ways, and it was a stark reminder that unhappiness in a relationship can lead people to make choices they might not otherwise consider. We were both victims of our circumstances, yet I felt an overwhelming need to assert that her choices were hers alone. I wouldn't let her actions undermine the seriousness of what had transpired. The damage had been done, and acknowledging that was the first step in seeking a resolution. As the conversation continued, we both began to reflect on the changes our lives had taken. She spoke of her dreams and aspirations that had been sidelined due to the pressures of family life and the neglect she felt from her husband. In turn, I shared my struggles with maintaining stability for my child amidst the chaos. We found common ground in our shared experiences of loss, even if the roots of our problems were different. It was an unexpected connection forged through our pain. The meeting felt transformative in many ways, as we moved from being adversaries to allies in understanding our struggles. I felt a strange sense of solidarity with her, realizing that we were both navigating a rocky path filled with uncertainty and disappointment. Our conversations morphed from accusations into discussions about how we could both move forward, despite the hurt that lingered in the air. After we shared our stories, we noticed a shift in her demeanor. The tears in her eyes were replaced with a semblance of understanding and acceptance. She grasped the weight of her actions, and I could tell that she was beginning to process the implications of her choices. This encounter was not merely about seeking revenge or an apology. It had become a moment of shared understanding, an acknowledgement of the complexity of our lives. In the end, we parted ways with a newfound sense of respect for each other. It wasn't a resolution to all our problems, but it was a step toward acknowledging the reality we faced. I felt lighter somehow, as if shedding some of the burdens that had weighed me down for so long. While our paths were fraught with difficulties, we both understood that moving forward would require honesty, introspection, and the willingness to confront consequences of our own actions. As I walked away from that encounter, I felt a surge of determination. I knew I had to focus on rebuilding my life and securing a better future for my child. The challenges ahead would be significant, but I was ready to face them head-on, equipped with the knowledge that I was not alone in this journey. There was a shared understanding between us now, a recognition of our struggles, and perhaps, just perhaps, a glimmer of hope for what lay ahead. Reflecting on everything that had transpired, I realized that forgiveness was not an easy path, but it was essential for my own healing. I understood that I had to move forward, and I would have to let go of the anger and resentment that had consumed me for so long. It was a difficult realization, but it was necessary for my peace of mind. Our children were innocent in all of this, yet they were the ones who would suffer from the mistakes. Thinking about the future, I began to formulate a plan for myself and my child. I wanted to ensure that they grew up in a loving and stable environment, free from the chaos and uncertainty that had characterized our lives repeatedly. It was crucial for me to provide them with the support and guidance they needed to navigate their own lives, and that meant prioritizing their well-being above all else. The road ahead would be challenging, but I was determined to face it with courage and resilience. I knew I couldn't change the past, but I could shape the future for myself and my child. Through hard work and determination, I would strive to create a better life for us both. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I was ready to pursue it with all my heart.
Sean, I noticed you haven't responded to my email from this morning. Could you let me know if you received it?
Yeah, I got it.
Great. Could you confirm you'll have them done?
Whatever.
I need a clear confirmation.
Fine, I'll look at them, but I don't see why I have to take orders from someone who couldn't even finish school.
Sean, please keep this professional.
Professional? That's rich coming from a dropout.
I understand you have concerns about my background, but right now, we need to focus on the task at hand.
The task at hand is that we have an unqualified person trying to give orders.
They're standard procedural requests.
Well, if it isn't the dropout girl playing at being a professional.
I'm heading out on a business trip tomorrow, and I sent you some additional documents regarding the handover of certain tasks. Could you please review them?
Listen, just because your daddy owns the company doesn't mean you can order me around.
This isn't about authority. It's about ensuring smooth operations while I'm away.
Oh, so now you're concerned about operations. How about being concerned with actually qualifying for your position first?
Yes, I dropped out of high school, and I'm younger than you. But I'm still your senior here. That kind of language isn't appropriate.
Oh, so Miss Elite Education is giving me orders now? Here we go again, the entitled princess giving commands.
I'm just trying to coordinate our work effectively.
You know what would be effective? Having someone qualified in charge.
I understand you're frustrated, but we still have work to do.
Seriously, there's no way a dropout should be working at a company this size. Everyone knows you only got in because of Daddy's connections. Must be nice having everything handed to ya.
My position here doesn't change the fact that these documents need review.
You chose to drop out, then got handed a cushy job at Daddy's company.
My educational background doesn't affect the quality of my work.
Oh, really? Then explain why you need me to review everything you do.
That's standard procedure for all projects, regardless of who handles them.
But unlike you, I actually went to college and know what I'm doing.
College isn't the only measure of capability, Sean.
Says the dropout who got everything handed to her.
Can we please focus on the work that needs to be done?
We don't respect social misfits who couldn't even handle school.
I understand. Well, I've asked you to review those documents, so I'll leave you to it.
Of course you would. That's what privileged people do when they can't handle reality.
The documents need to be reviewed by tomorrow morning.
And what if I don't? Going to run to Daddy?
No, I'll document that you refuse to complete your assigned tasks.
Oh, now you're threatening me.
It's standard procedure.
Standard procedure? You wouldn't know standard procedure if it hit you in the face.
Regardless of your opinion of me, these tasks need to be completed.
And I need competent leadership, but here we are.
I'll send you a reminder email about the documents.
Oh, great, more paperwork from the princess.
This isn't personal, it's just work.
Everything's personal when it comes to nepotism.
The clients are counting on us to deliver.
No, they're counting on qualified people to deliver.
This is my last message on this topic. Please review the documents by tomorrow morning.
Or what? You're gonna fire me?
I'm forwarding you the email again with the deadline clearly marked.
Because I totally missed it the first time, right?
The deadline isn't negotiable. The client needs these documents.
And the company needs qualified people, not dropouts.
I've noted your objections.
Noted my objections? How professional of you. Did Daddy teach you that phrase?
I'm ending this conversation now. Please focus on the task.
Yeah, run away. It's what you're good at.
The priority is completing the work.
The priority should be having qualified people in charge.
Good night, Sean. I expect those documents to be reviewed by morning.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, princess.
I'll check the documents first thing tomorrow before my trip.
Rich coming from someone who couldn't finish school.
This is standard quality control.
Quality control from you?
The irony of questioning my competence while refusing to do your job isn't lost on me.
Just leave me alone and let me do my work.
That's what I've been trying to do this entire time.
Fine, but don't expect me to respect your authority.
I don't need your respect.
Whatever, just go on your precious business trip.
Thank you for finally acknowledging the task.
Don't push it, dropout.
Good night, Sean. Amy, I'm so sorry to interrupt your trip, but you need to come back right away. Huh? Rachel? What's wrong? Is there some kind of problem? Amy, I've been trying to call you but couldn't get through. Are you in a meeting? Just finished one. My phone was on silent. What's happening? You never message like this. It's your father. He collapsed. My father? What happened? Is he okay? The meeting was going normally. He was presenting the quarterly reports. Then suddenly... Rachel, please, tell me what's happening. I don't know. He suddenly collapsed during a meeting and was rushed to the hospital. He's not responding to us at all. It looks really serious. No way. Which hospital? I'm leaving right now. St. Mary's. The doctors are with him now. I'll head back right now. Amy, I need to tell you something. What is it? Rachel, please answer me. Amy, your father didn't make it by the time we got him to the hospital. No, this can't be happening. You're wrong. Please, tell me you're wrong. I'm so sorry, Amy. We did everything we could. The doctors tried their best. I should have been there. I was supposed to be there. It was a brain aneurysm. The only comfort might be that he passed peacefully. Amy, are you okay? How can I be okay? I just lost my father. I wasn't even there to say goodbye. He was talking about you this morning, about how proud he was of your progress at work. Stop. Please stop. I can't handle this. Rachel, as you know, I don't have a mother. Dad was my only family. I know, sweetie. I know how close you two were. The last thing I said to him, I just complained about work. I didn't even say I loved him. He knew, Amy. He always knew. Your father was always so proud of you. Even when we first started the company, during our busiest times, he always kept your photo on his desk, saying he had to work hard for his daughter. He did? Every single day, that photo never left his desk. Even during meetings, he'd glance at it. It gave him strength. I didn't know. There's so much about your father's love for you. He built this company while taking care of all his employees. He wanted to be a father you could be proud of. I was always proud of him. So proud. I just wish I had told him more often. He talked about you constantly. Every achievement, every milestone. He celebrated them all. I know Dad loved both the company and me deeply. That's why he hired me even though I dropped out. I was so happy about that, and I thought I'd get to keep watching him work. But now, what am I supposed to do? Amy, there's something else. Something your father told me last month. What? Before he passed, your father said he wanted you to take over the company if anything happened to him. Me? That's impossible. I can't. I'm not ready. He said it was what he could do as your father. But I've only just started learning about Dad's work. Being CEO is... It's what he wanted, Amy. He believed in you. But why me? There are so many more qualified people. Because he saw something in you, something special. I'll support you. He entrusted you to me in case anything happened. I don't know if I can do this. I'm scared, Rachel. Of course you are. Of course, no one's perfect from the start. There might be resistance and complaints. They'll hate me. They already think I'm just the boss's daughter. But you love this company just like your father did. You'll be fine. At least, that's what I believe, having watched you all this time. You've been watching me? I've seen how hard you work, how much you care about the company, just like your father did. Rachel, thank you. Honestly, it doesn't feel real being CEO yet. But I'm going to protect the company Dad left behind. That's what I can do as his daughter. You won't be alone. I promised your father I'd help you, and I keep my promises. When's the funeral? We'll handle everything. You just focus on grieving. No, Dad would want me to be strong, to take care of things. You are strong, Amy. You're your father's daughter. Yes, I am, and I'll make him proud. You already have, Amy.
Hey, what's this all about? There's a rumor going around the office about the new CEO.
Yes, there will be an official announcement soon.
Why is a dropout like you becoming CEO?
This was the former CEO's wish. I know I'm inexperienced and might cause some inconvenience, but let's work hard together.
What? This has to be a joke!
It's not a joke. The board has already approved it.
The board must be out of their minds, or you manipulated them somehow.
I didn't manipulate anyone. This was my father's decision.
You've gotta be kidding me. Why should I take orders from a dropout?
My educational background doesn't define my ability to lead.
Oh, really? Then what does? Your vast experience doing nothing? You're just Daddy's spoiled little girl who's now getting handed the CEO position too? How shameless can you get?
I understand you're upset, but this isn't productive.
Productive? You want to talk about productivity? How about we talk about your productivity level?
I'm willing to discuss any concerns about my leadership professionally.
Professional? Look, nobody's gonna take orders from a dropout, don't you get it?
Whether you like it or not, this is happening.
That's why you're a dropout. Sure, Daddy loved his little princess, but putting a dropout in charge of the company? That's just stupid!
That's enough. Stop insulting my father.
Oh, now you're getting defensive after what you've done to this company?
I haven't done anything to this company.
Exactly, you've done nothing. You're the one who insulted us first.
How have I insulted anyone?
By existing in a position you don't deserve. Who'd want to work under someone less capable than them?
Capability isn't measured by degrees alone.
No, it's measured by Daddy's love, apparently. Being a CEO's daughter is one thing, but a dropout taking over? No employee will accept that.
You don't speak for all employees.
We're all quitting and finding new jobs.
All of you?
Everyone with any self-respect.
Everyone's quitting? Oh no.
Check the company chat. I just sent a company-wide message about you becoming CEO. And wow, the negative responses are pouring in.
You had no right to do that.
I had every right to warn my colleagues. Everyone knows how incompetent you are.
That's your opinion, not a fact.
Oh, really? Let's see what the others think. Who'd want to follow a spoiled brat like you?
This is horrible.
Truth hurts, doesn't it?
You're deliberately causing chaos.
No, you caused this by accepting a position you don't deserve.
The position was given to me legitimately.
Legitimately? Is that what you call nepotism now?
You're twisting everything.
I'm revealing everything, and guess what? People agree with me.
This isn't about agreement. It's about respecting the company's decision.
The company? You mean your father's last mistake?
Don't you dare.
What? Speak the truth? This is reality.
Reality is that I'm now CEO.
Reality is that nobody respects you. Reality is that we're all leaving.
You can't force others to quit.
I don't need to force anyone.
This isn't the way to handle disagreements.
This isn't a disagreement. This is a rebellion against incompetent leadership.
You're being unprofessional.
Says the dropout CEO. How's that for a professional?
Is there anything I can say to make you reconsider?
Yeah, resign. It's what any decent person would do.
I won't resign.
Then watch your company crumble. Watch as everyone with talent leaves.
Those who want to leave can leave.
Oh, we will, and we'll make sure everyone knows why.
You're burning bridges.
You're destroying the company, so I guess we're even.
I haven't done anything to destroy the company.
Your mere presence is destroying it. Your status as CEO is a joke.
If that's how you feel, then leave.
Oh, I'm leaving. We're all leaving. Good luck running things alone, dropout.
You don't need to be so cruel about it.
Cruel? This is business, something you know nothing about.
I know more than you think.
Sure you do, princess.
Is there anything else you need to say?
Just watch your little empire crumble. Watch as everyone with actual qualifications walks out.
You've made your point.
No, you'll see my point when you're sitting alone in that office, when there's no one left to order around.
We'll manage without you.
Good luck with that. You'll need it.
Goodbye, Sean.
Goodbye, Miss CEO. Enjoy your empty kingdom.
What should I do? Rachel, literally everyone quit. At this rate, the company will go under. How many exactly left? Almost the entire development team, most of marketing, half of accounting. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. Don't apologize yet. Let me check something. What's there to check? The company is falling apart. Actually? Oh my, this is wonderful. What are you talking about, Rachel? How can this possibly be wonderful? Let me show you something. I've been analyzing our productivity metrics. Metrics? At a time like this? Trust me on this. Look at who's leaving. Does it matter? We're losing everyone. It matters very much. I've been thinking that we have too many people collecting paychecks without doing any real work. Rachel, these are our colleagues. Were our colleagues, and I'm being objective here. Too many unnecessary expenses. But they all contributed something. Did they? Let me share some numbers. Numbers won't change the fact that we're in crisis. Crisis or opportunity? So having them all quit at once is actually a great cost-cutting measure. Don't say it like that. They all worked hard for the company. Did they really? Let's look at Sean's team.
What about them?
Their productivity was 40% below average, yet they had the highest overhead.
That can't be right.
The numbers don't lie. There were more people trying to make easy money for themselves than people actually working for the company's benefit.
Still...
Of course, that's one way to work, so I'm not criticizing them.
It feels wrong to talk about them this way.
I'm not being cruel, just practical. This time, people just left because they thought they couldn't coast under your leadership. That's all there is to it.
But what do we do now? The work still needs to get done. Rachel and I can't run the company alone, and even if we hire new people, it'll take time to train them.
We're not alone.
The building feels pretty empty.
Look who stayed.
Just a few part-timers.
Who happen to be our most efficient workers.
We can't inconvenience our clients during that time.
Who says we will?
How can we not? We lost most of our workforce.
But not most of our productivity.
What do you mean?
Remember that automation project?
The one that got shelved?
Maybe it's time to dust it off. Amy, as CEO, you'll always need to make important decisions. Now is one of those times.
What do you mean? What kind of decision?
Actually, I have a good idea.
I'm scared to ask.
Don't be. This is an opportunity.
To do what?
To rebuild better than before.
How?
First, we need to look at who's essential.
Aren't all employees essential?
In theory, yes. In practice...
Rachel!
I'm being realistic. We need to be strategic now.
Strategic how?
Let's start with the departments.
What about them?
Which ones are actually understaffed now?
All of them!
Are they, though? Look at the workload.
I am looking. It's overwhelming.
Is it? Or does it just look that way?
What do you mean?
Remember how much time we spent in meetings?
Too much, probably.
Exactly. Now we can actually work.
But the clients...
We'll get better service with fewer bottlenecks.
I don't understand.
You will. Watch our productivity this week.
You really think this could work?
I know it will. Trust me. I've been here since the beginning.
That's true.
And I've seen every crisis. This isn't our first. Won't be our last.
But it feels different.
Every crisis feels different until you solve it.
How do we solve this one?
By being smart, strategic, selective.
About?
Everything. Hiring, projects, resources.
It sounds risky.
Leadership is risky.
I wish Dad was here.
He is. In every decision you make, he prepared you for this.
Did he?
More than you know. Watch what happens this week.
And if it goes wrong?
Then we adjust. That's what leaders do.
I'm not sure I'm ready.
You are.
Thank you, Rachel.
For what?
For believing in me.
Your father believed in you first. I'm just following his lead.
We'll make this work.
Yes, we will.
Long time no see, Sean. What brings you here?
Don't play dumb. My new job's biggest client turned out to be your company. How are you still in business?
Did you need something specific?
How are you not bankrupt when everyone quits? You must be doing something illegal. I'm reporting you to the police.
Oh, reporting us won't accomplish anything. Besides, we don't really need your company's business to stay afloat.
What did you say? Are you threatening me?
Not at all. Just stating facts.
What would you know about facts?
The company's different from when you were here. We've gone global now, doing business with companies worldwide, including Japan.
What? You expect me to believe that?
Why would I lie?
Because you're desperate.
Actually, we're doing quite well.
That's impossible. Everyone who could speak Japanese quit. There's no one left who could handle international business.
I handle the global division myself.
What?
You think I'm joking?
Of course you're joking. You can barely handle English.
Would you like to continue this conversation in Japanese?
What?
Or perhaps French, Chinese, Korean?
Stop messing around.
Honguguro de washileo.
What are you saying?
Voulez-vous que nous parlions en français?
This is some kind of trick. You're using some kind of translation app.
A joke? Ah, you're right. I should clarify. We recently hired some new staff, so I'm not alone anymore. And we're training people.
Stop with these lame jokes. A dropout can't do that kind of work.
About that. I actually speak 5 languages, including Japanese.
Anyone can claim that.
Would you like me to demonstrate more?
This isn't possible.
The reason I dropped out was actually because my IQ was too high. These days, there's a term for it, gifted. But when I was in school, that wasn't even a recognized concept.
Wait a minute. Gifted means like super smart, right?
That's right. By the time I finished middle school, I'd mastered English, Chinese, Korean, and French. And understood college-level math.
You're lying.
Want me to solve some equations for you?
This can't be real.
But that made it hard to fit in, and I didn't feel like going to high school.
That's impossible! If you're that smart, you should have been better at your job!
Actually, I helped with Dad's work secretly. I kept quiet because I didn't want to stand out.
But everyone saw how you worked!
They saw what I wanted them to see. I joined the company because Dad was worried about my lack of social skills. You know, a company is a great place to learn social manners and communication.
So all this time?
All this time, I was learning from everyone, including you, Sean.
Learning what?
How people interact, how they think. Only Dad and Rachel knew I was gifted, so I understand why people would assume being a dropout meant I lacked intelligence.
This is impossible!
Remember those reports you struggled with?
What about them?
I wrote the original templates.
No.
In 5 languages.
You're lying!
Check the metadata on the files.
This isn't real!
I am who I am today thanks to Dad, this company, and Rachel. So I'll use my abilities to protect what's important to me.
But you were just the boss's daughter!
I was never just anything, Sean. We haven't done anything wrong.
Damn it, don't get cocky, dropout! No matter how smart you are, you're still just a dropout!
Education doesn't define capability.
Don't look down on me!
I'm not looking down on you. I'm looking forward.
This isn't over!
Actually, it is. It was over the moment you chose to judge without understanding.
I'll expose you!
Expose what? That I'm multilingual? Gifted? Good at my job?
This isn't fair!
Fair? Like how you treated me?
That was different!
Yes, it was. Because I never judged you.
I'll get you for this!
No, Sean, you won't. Because unlike you, I actually know what I'm doing.
We'll see about that!
Yes, we will. Goodbye, Sean.
Don't play dumb! Your company's work is getting done way too fast! It's faster than when we were there!
Is that a problem?
There's no way such a small team could work this quickly! You must be cutting corners!
We're not cutting any corners.
Then explain how you're doing it! It's impossible!
You can check the quality of our work yourself.
I have! That's what's driving me crazy!
Oh?
The quality is even better than before!
Though I understand your surprise, we have become quite efficient.
This is beyond efficient! What are you really doing?
But for that, you can thank Rachel and the other part-timers who stayed.
What? Part-timers couldn't possibly do that!
Oh? Don't you know?
Know what?
Rachel was a founding member and former VP of the company.
What? VP? You're lying!
She switched to part-time after getting married and having kids.
But she was just a part-timer!
Was she? Did you ever actually look at her work?
Of course I did! She just did basic tasks!
But you know how busy housewives are, right? As she puts it, she's an impatient mom who needs to cut corners wherever possible. So she even wrote programs to automate half her work.
What programs?
The ones you never noticed.
What's with that? I mean, I knew she worked fast, but I thought she just had a light workload.
Actually, Rachel does more work than you ever did.
That's impossible.
Want to see the numbers?
What numbers?
Productivity metrics, task completion rates, error rates.
Those don't mean anything.
She's just efficiency focused, so she gets things done quickly. And to get back to the point, Rachel actually proposed something.
What now?
She asked if we could use the system she'd kept in storage.
What system?
Apparently, she'd created this fully automated program a while back, but wasn't sure about implementing it, so she kept it stored away.
What's with this system? If you had something like that, why didn't you use it before?
The program apparently had some bugs and was still in testing.
And now suddenly it works?
Plus, we didn't want to rely too heavily on programs, and there was a possibility it could take away other people's jobs, so it was shelved.
So you're replacing people with machines?
No, we're augmenting our team's capabilities. But we had no choice but to use it this time, and as CEO, it was a big decision, but I'm glad we did it.
Of course you're glad! You're probably making a fortune!
Actually, I'm actually a little grateful to you all for making that decision possible.
What gratitude! Your pathetic company somehow survived!
More than survived. We are thriving.
Only because you're cheating?
What exactly bothers you so much? You already quit the company.
It pisses me off! A dropout being CEO is just wrong! Know your place at the bottom!
My place? I think I found it.
At the bottom? Your company should just go bankrupt!
Is that really what you want?
Yes! You should fail!
Why?
Because you don't deserve success.
And you think you do?
I have a degree.
And what have you done with it? Exactly.
This isn't over.
Actually, it is.
We'll see about that.
Yes, we will.
I'll prove you're doing something illegal.
Good luck with that.
You think you're so smart?
No, Sean, I just do my job.
This isn't fair!
Like how you treated me wasn't fair?
That was different.
Yes, it was, because I earned my position.
You'll regret this!
No, Sean, I won't. But you might.
Damn it! Answer me! I know you did this!
Did what exactly?
You old hag! Look what you've done to me!
Such harsh words after not seeing each other for so long. No wonder you got demoted.
You reported me and made me look like the bad guy! Why did you do that?
Bad guy? This is much more serious than that.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything wrong!
Really, let's review your actions, shall we?
There's nothing to review!
You verbally abused the CEO of a client company. That's defamation, which is a crime.
I didn't abuse anyone! I just told the truth!
The truth? Like how you called her incompetent?
She is incompetent!
Really, the CEO is too dismissive of you. Even though you're just an incompetent employee who quit on their own.
Incompetent? Are you talking about me?
Yes. Would you like to see your performance reviews?
My performance was perfect!
Poor performance, bad attitude.
I had great reviews!
From whom?
From everyone!
That's what people call incompetent.
Stop saying that!
The CEO only cares about capable people, or rather, I advised her to focus on that.
What do you mean?
I mean she was too kind to you.
Kind? She ruined me!
So she didn't even think. To report your abuse to your company.
There was no abuse!
Really? So I reported it instead. Is there a problem?
Of course there's a problem! When did I ever abuse anyone?
Everything is recorded in the line messages, which I forwarded to your employer.
You can't do that!
Actually, I can, and I did. Considering you verbally abused an important client, you should be grateful you only got demoted.
Grateful? Grateful? Why do you succeed while I end up like this?
Let me tell you why you're in this situation. Would you like the short version or the detailed explanation?
Just tell me!
Our company succeeded because you left.
That's ridiculous!
Is it? Because you were overconfident in your abilities and neglected your work.
I did my work perfectly!
Define perfectly.
I got everything done!
Eventually, after multiple revisions, with constant supervision.
That's normal!
In terms of numbers and results, you weren't exceptional in any way.
You're lying!
The data doesn't lie. You should face reality.
What reality?
The reality that you were never as good as you thought.
I was the best!
The girl you mocked for being a dropout works harder than anyone, stays humble, and takes her job seriously.
She just got lucky!
Luck doesn't maintain a company's growth for months.
She must be cheating somehow!
The fact that you couldn't see that shows you have no real ability.
I have plenty of ability!
Is that why you're facing another demotion?
How did you...
Word gets around. Amy, about that mid-career hiring post. Sean applied, but we're rejecting him, right? I heard he quit after not accepting his demotion, but...
He applied here again? That's pretty bold.
You can't reject me!
Don't hire him. We don't need him.
You need me!
His communication skills were good, but he was terrible at everything else.
Communication skills? Him?
I was great at communication!
Well, Sean was really well liked by the capable senior employees. That's why he got so cocky.
I earned their respect!
The seniors wanted to protect him, and he could at least communicate well with them. If he'd used that in his work, we might have considered hiring him.
You should hire me!
But he didn't. And we won't.
You've gotten good at reading people. Yes.
You think so?
When you first joined the company, you were so distant and couldn't blend in with anyone.
That was then.
Now look at you, listening to each employee's complaints and trying to make improvements.
This isn't fair!
Life rarely is.
I'll make you regret this!
As your mentor, I couldn't be prouder of your growth.
That's not... It's all thanks to you, Rachel.
Stop ignoring me!
Thank you so much. I am who I am today because of you.
I'll sue you both!
On what grounds?
On...
Exactly.
This isn't over!
Yes, Sean. It is. Rachel, you love working, don't you?
What brought this on?
I've been watching you. I can tell how much you enjoy it just by watching you.
Is this about the automation system?
No, it's about you. I've been thinking.
About?
About how much you've given to this company.
It's my job.
It's more than that. You could have left when everyone else did.
I would never.
I know. That's why I want to repay you.
Repay me?
You love the work, don't you?
Of course I do.
But you're holding back.
What do you mean?
I see how you limit yourself. How you don't take credit for your ideas.
That's not true.
It is, and it's because of me.
Amy, no.
Rachel, you love working, don't you? I can tell how much you enjoy it just by watching you.
I do love it.
So, I want to create a workplace where you can really show your abilities.
You already have.
Not enough. At headquarters, you're always holding back because of me.
That's not true.
It is. You're always protecting me, supporting me, putting me first.
That's my job.
No. It's time for you to shine too.
What are you suggesting?
That's why I want to open a branch office.
A branch office?
Yes. And I want you to manage it.
A branch office? You finally made that decision. Your father always hesitated about that.
Dad was cautious, but times have changed.
And you want me to manage it?
Who else?
There are other qualified people.
There's no one more qualified than you, Rachel.
But what about headquarters?
I can handle it now.
Are you sure?
Thanks to you. Would you consider it?
It's a big responsibility.
You've handled bigger things.
This is different. I'm not sure.
Of course, I want to fulfill as many of your wishes as possible. So just let me know what you want.
What I want?
Yes. This is your chance to build something your way.
My way?
Complete autonomy. Your own team. Your own vision.
You'd trust me with that?
I trust you with everything.
But the board
already approved it.
What?
I presented your track record, your innovations, your leadership potential.
When did you do this?
Last week. They were impressed.
Really?
Very. Especially with the automation system.
But that was just
revolutionary. Game-changing. They want to see what else you can do.
I don't know what to say.
Say yes.
It's not that simple.
You've earned this.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. You're my mentor, after all.
Not anymore.
Always.
You've surpassed me.
Never. I'm still learning from you. So, will you take it?
The branch office.
Yes.
I think I will.
Really?
Yes. It's time. Time to stop hiding.
Like I did?
Like we both did.
Then it's settled.
It is.
Welcome to your next chapter, Rachel.
Our next chapter.
Our next chapter.
Sean couldn't find a job and now works at a convenience store. Apparently, he's being bossed around by the part-time moms there, a fitting end for someone who looked down on everyone else. Meanwhile, I'm working with Rachel to grow the company, and we've become incredibly successful. We now have a branch office, the company's doing great, and everything's working out perfectly. I'm so glad I could report all this success at Dad's grave.